I could coach against Chelsea right now and score a goal against them. All I would have to do is tell my team to use long throws and get the ball in the box in every set piece opportunity, because it's apparently impossible for Chelsea players to win the ball in the air. The first ball is practically always won by the other team, and after they manage to flick it on, anything can happen. And that part is the case with every team, by the way. If you can't win the first ball in the box, you can concede. It doesn't matter how well drilled you are defensively at that point, the ball can go anywhere. That's why it's so important for the defenders to be able to read the ball and get to it first before that chaos even has a chance of starting. But at Chelsea Football Club, it's like we've set a challenge for ourselves not to win the first ball at all costs. It's not just the defenders, it's the midfielders and everyone else too. Ironically, GITTENS, who by the way had an amazing game today that I'll talk about later, was the only person I remember consistently winning his aerial duels, and he's a winger. I refuse to believe it's about something unchangeable like height. We aren't a ridiculously short team, and the duels that we lose aren't by some 6'5" giants every time. As a unit, we are just genuinely horrible at defending set pieces, and I cannot understand why. Every time the ball's in the air anywhere near our box, it feels like a penalty, and it's just becoming a joke at this point. I don't think there's another team in the league that's conceded 3 goals from long throws outside of us, and this type of football in the Premier League doesn't seem like it's slowing down or anything. Just like we praise our set piece coaches for how good we have become at attacking set pieces, we have to criticize them for how badly we have become at defending them. And it's not like we are the only team that face them, so why does it seem to affect us so much? Why is everybody in the squad so bad at reading the flight of the ball, especially when these same players can win so many aerial duels when we are attacking? This was a win today, and I'm supposed to walk away happy, but instead I walk away 100% sure that if we keep playing like this and we don't figure out a way to deal with a style of football that is rapidly becoming the norm in this league, we will struggle. You simply cannot become a great team while having such massive weaknesses in our defense that can be so easily exploited by anyone, regardless of their skill. You can't keep outscoring opponents forever, and the Sunderland game showed us that. Eventually we have to look at our issues aerially and find a solution. But getting away from our defense and all the negatives from the game, we did manage to score 4 goals today, and the biggest reason for that was by far the man of the match and the man that I told you guys not to give up on, Jamie Gittens. But when you actually think about it, why did everyone give up on Jamie Gittens so quickly? I'm sure people will deny it immediately now that he's had 1 or 2 good games, but when I said in my last video that he should start over Garnacho, I was met with people acting like he had no ability whatsoever and already giving up on him. And on Twitter it was no different, if not worse. I'm not saying you have to give every player that puts on a Chelsea top a lot of time. Some players just clearly don't have the talent to ever make it here, even if they are young. But when a player has as much raw talent as Jamie Gittens does, and so many attributes that you want in a winger, in what world does it make sense to completely write him off because of a few bad cameos off the bench? I'm not going to say he's going to turn into Cole Palmer from now on and be amazing, and he could very well drop into some more bad form in the future as I expect him to, but surely his raw talent and ability alone should afford him some time among the fan base to grow and develop. Let's actually look at him objectively for a second. He is a winger that is incredibly fast and agile, can dribble really well and likes to take his fullback on, doesn't just fire in crosses and hope for someone to be on the end of them, but instead actually puts thought into them, is a decent passer, and finally a guy with great ball striking. So what part of that player tells you that they aren't ever gonna develop into a Chelsea level winger, especially off of 30-minute cameos off the bench? Again, there are players that I understand giving up on quickly. Maybe they just don't have the technical ability to ever make it in your opinion, or maybe they are missing some other crucial part of the game that you believe they aren't ever gonna develop. But with Gittens, I just don't understand why he's shown to be treated as a flop so quickly. Anyways, as I said before the game, this guy should 100% be the starting left winger for us over Garnacho. He's a player that just provides more consistent threat over the course of 90 minutes, someone that fullbacks would actually have to worry about rather than Garnacho. He's usually quiet for most of the game, but can pop up with a moment of brilliance here and there. I think a player like Garnacho is for that reason reason more suited to come off the bench and give us those moments, while Gittens starts and provides us with real danger from our left side for the majority of the game. Especially in a time playing without Palmer, we need as many players that can attract attention from the defense as possible, and Gittens is that type of player. But of course, it wouldn't be a Chelsea game without a red card, and this time it was even more inexcusable than any of the other ones we've had. Not only was it from a player who is making his big return from injury, but it was the dumbest red card we've seen so far. First of all, getting 2 yellows to me is unacceptable, because I feel like a straight red can be explained by a moment of madness, but how do you explain going into a yellow card challenge while already knowing you're on one? That's why a double yellow is just so much rarer than a straight red in general. And yet, Delap got his second yellow in the exact same way he got his first, fouling a centre back for no reason. Honestly, was anyone surprised that the first thing Delap did after returning was fouling a centre back? I know I wasn't, and this is why I said Guiu is so much better off the ball than Delap is. He actually presses people, while Delap seems to think that picking up a yellow from elbowing a centre back in the ribs is proof that you've worked hard. I really don't know why he does it. Is it this idea that he's trying to let the centre back know that he's there by giving them a cheap free kick? Is it this idea that traditional old school strikers like him have to give away these fouls? Whatever it is, it needs to end, because all he's really done for us so far, barring a few good moments early in the Club World Cup, is pick up yellow cards, and it's getting very tiring, especially when Chelsea have chosen to rely on Delap so heavily by sending Jackson on loan and letting Joao Pedro play as a 10, leaving Delap as the only established number 9 that we have. But yeah, what a weird feeling to leave a game after winning and feel like you've genuinely lost. With the massive set piece issues we have, I can't even feel comfortable after being 3-0 up in the first half. And this aerial problem is something that Maresca and the rest of the team cannot afford to continue ignoring. But anyways, thanks for watching the video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and be sure to subscribe as we start our journey into the footballing YouTube space. Thanks for watching.